Hi guys, my name is Idunu Aganga Williams. Everyone calls me Dunes of the Bush. I'm an entertainment lawyer and also the founder of The Bush. We're an entertainment company and an event production company in Abuja, and we're live at Jago TV.
Hi guys, my name is Linus Navis, founder of the Grow Hype. I'm into digital marketing, talent management, and event management, and we're live at Jago TV. Ladies first.
Okay. All right. So what is my vision for events planning in Abuja, right? So I want okay, so there's a lot to unpack in that question because first of all, I'm a woman in the events space. So what I want is in the next couple of years, I would like more women in the event space taking charge of events and event production, doing the hard part of events and making it come into a reality. Two, I would like for more Abuja based entertainment to sprout up through events, basically from music production from music artists to visual artists to plays, just in general, just a thing where everyone has a part to play. We're not bringing things from outside Abuja or exporting things from outside Abuja into Abuja. So I would like it to be more of a homegrown of the bush by the bush and for the bush type situation, pretty much. What about you, Linus?
Well, for me, I would say my vision for the Abuja events space would be to see an ecosystem that thrives, that involves every area of creatives like music, art, fashion. Like I think we're already working on it, and I think we're already getting there, but we just have a little more. We just have little more to add to make the whole structure make sense. And I think Abuja is picking up already because in as much as people are being exported to come to Abuja every day to come give us a show, so it means we're already getting there. But what's left for me is a community where okay, we the creatives in Abuja can actually like come together and work together and have useful, memorable events experience here.
Yeah. The good thing about Lagos ecosystem is that everyone in Lagos kind of like knows each other and they support one another from the jump. So I really want that for us here. That's why they're able to do as many shows as they want. That's why they're able to do as many things as they need to do for them to evolve their entertainment ecosystem. So for us, we need more platforms. We need more support from brands outside in Abuja. They need to see us as a place where they can actually plant their seeds and watch us germinate it into trees. So basically, that's basically another thing I wanted to say. So we need to work together so that we can import brands and export our services. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. Oh my God. Linus, please go.
Man, well, I think for me, I would say the biggest issues you could have with vendors or partners and events is them setting unrealistic expectations from you as an event planner or manager. Like there's always people expect that oh because maybe they've like paid for stuff or they've committed into it like that's all it takes to just make the work a success. So there's always high expectations, high unrealistic expectations from partners and vendors when it comes to events, and majority of them that have high expectations like that, they don't really pull in their own weights. They always feel like oh the whole event workload is just on the event managers. Yeah.
My biggest problem with vendors, first of all, is they are not professional. They not all of them. Let me not say all of them, but majority of them. And also, I wish we had a directory in Abuja, like a yellow pages type of situation, where if you're looking for someone who does lights, you can just go through this book and just know you can call Mr. Nas, you can call Mr. This, you can call Mr. That. Just like that. I wish there was like a compiled information or documentation for all the vendors for one thing so that you know who to work with, who has bad stars or who has like low quality sound and not to work with this person, or you know this is your budget person, blah 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 blah. And my problem with them is that they're not professional. Again, I'm so sorry to circle back to gender, but it's because I'm a woman most times. So I always just kind of like outsource to the people on my team to speak to them. Thank God we've grown a bit. So I don't ever have to really interact with these people. So vendors in general, they're not very professional when it comes to timing, when it comes to the quality of the things that you're supposed to get. That is a problem with vendors. Secondly, for partners, the thing about partners in Abuja, The thing about partners in Abuja is that I really agree with Linus when it comes to pulling their weight. I really like working with Linus because no matter what it is, whenever we work together, I don't ever feel like I have to cover his part or I have to check or do your circle back with Linus. It's always just like Linus handles media, he handles promotions, and that's it. I don't have to ever go back to Linus and go like, oh, yo, what's up? How far, how far, how far? It's always already done and it's always ready. Like he's active, Sha. I'm not trying to whine you, but you know. But like in general with partners, the thing that I always find as a problem is that there's no professionalism again, where they don't know that you're supposed to like sign contracts, MOUs, memorandum of understanding where you kind of like know, okay, this is my part as of the bush, this is his part as Linus, this is part as Jago Media, all of that. Everyone should know what they're supposed to do. So there's a bit of lack of structure when it comes to partnering with people in Abuja.
But
That's
yeah,
just a bit.
definitely, it's not with everyone.
Yes,
Like you said,
definitely.
like maybe on a small scale, you know, for like guys that are coming up in the event space, you have to like partner with more people on people around you, not people above you or people below you.
On
So
a linear scale.
majorly, like when you're partnering with people around you, you get to have like majority of such kind of difficulties because you guys are not yet operating on a very like on a very professional level yet. So that's one of the challenges. Like we're working with partners and vendors on a lower level in the event space here. You have to battle stuff like high expectations, um, lateness, stuff like people not pulling in their own weights, their own fair share of the work, and people not being willing to like sign contracts and make things very professional.
I don't know why that's a big problem though. I don't know why everyone is always scared of contracts. Contracts are meant to protect you and me. It's not a one-way street. You should be happy signing a contract. You should be happy meeting someone who is like, oh yo, let's put this on paper. Let's sign this. Let's make this a legal binding document. It's very, very important. I really think that people should stop being scared of contracts.
Me, I don't like to see my challenges as gender based. Do you get me? Because I don't look at it that I'm being limited because of my gender. Do you get me? But definitely we can still say, okay, there's maybe a little bit of favoritism if you were like the other gender in terms of getting things done.
What?
You know?
What do you mean? I'm so sorry. Like I have to sit up for this one because,
Well,
girl, what?
no, it's facts now. Like
Facts.
you now as of the bush, yeah, you could knock into any room and there's a potential that people would listen to you and take you more serious than a guy walking into a room. There's always that, especially when there's that, oh, we don't in a scenario where, oh, they don't know me and they don't know you. There's always more of that, you're gonna be favored over me.
But that's sexism, though. But that's actually sexism. Like, what are you talking
But it
about?
happens in the entertainment space.
No, I don't agree with that. See, they only let me into a room because they see me as bum bum. That's it. Like they just see me as like Nyash that's entering the space. They're not literally seeing me as, and they don't. I've not opened my mouth to say anything. They don't care about what I have to say. They just seen a fine girl that's entered space. Do you understand? But by the time you ask for something, and by the time I ask for something, we're both not going to get the same treatment, especially if we're asking for the same things. Do you get like even with brands, even with the way men even just talk to you, just addressing you alone, is different. Do you understand? You have a company that's an entertainment company. I have an entertainment company as well. When it comes to event production, even when it comes to artisans speaking to the female counterparts on our team as compared to speaking to the male counterparts, it's little things like that. Do you get? So I do understand your point where you say that, oh, they'll listen to me,
Yeah.
but they'll probably give you whatever I'm asking first as compared to giving it to me because they'll want something from me before. Am I lying, sister? Exactly.
Well, no, that fact is there. Yeah, definitely, that fact is there. That okay, yeah, like there's
They'll
an
give it to
ulterior
you
motive
because
with
you're
you.
Linus. You're not
But
giving it
like
to
now, we're not
me.
even looking at scenarios where we're talking about people now in cases where they don't follow the norms. Do you get me? In cases where they
What do
follow
you
the
mean?
norms in terms of like, oh, okay, now they know like I come to present myself, this is what I want, and they see what I'm offering, and okay, those are like norms. You get me? I'm talking of in cases where it is even about what like I'm coming to present. It's just about, oh, you don't know me and I don't know you. Sometimes people don't even care about what's in that document, what's in that proposal. Some proposals, it's not about what you've written there, it's about what's your personal relationship with that person that you're going to like approach. Do you get me? So for some people in cases like where you guys, you're strangers to who you're going to pitch with.
Mm-hmm.
There's always that softness with ladies. I'll just say softness, just a bit, just a tiny bit in the entertainment space, just a tiny bit. You get me? But I'm not saying always, but
No, but you're not
sometimes
wrong, is
those
what
are
I'm
the edges. You get
saying.
me? Like now, you as a lady now, like people say, some people say the entertainment is for ladies. You get me? Like ladies rule the entertainment, unlike how they will say men rule the world. Like because majority of entertainment these days work with like they work majorly with ladies. Do you
Because
get
women
me?
have better work ethics in general. Like I'm not joking. Women have better work ethics. Like, one babe. See, in fact, you know what? Let me just ask the camera and crew guys. Guys, any babe you know in this world right now, think of her right now, right? You can't tell me she has one stream of income. There's a babe that you know that's selling hair, doing konu, doing this one, doing that one, and she's still going to school. Like, women have general better work ethics. Capital Block Party example. Half of the people, like 80% of people that work for Capital Block Parties are all women.
No, definitely. Like
Do you understand what I'm trying to
that's not
say?
what we're trying to like.
No, but I'm trying to
We
let
know
yes, but that's why I'm
entertainment. We
saying that
know.
most times, yeah, because you're making it seem like as if it's favorable whenever they're letting us into these spaces. They're not letting us enter these spaces because of what we have to present. It's because of what we look like. That is pretty much it. And that's sexism. And that sexism doesn't really favor us because when it now comes to the part that, okay, this is what we do, this is what we can do, they don't listen to us because they're trying to get something from us in return. So if that's favor in your opinion, I'm letting you know in this moment, it's not favor.
But it's not always in that. It's not always in that line. It depends on the person, definitely. You get no. You can't say
It's mostly
every single person
transactional.
you want to work with has that transactional
No,
mindset about
definitely,
wanting to get something from a girl.
definitely
Do
not.
you get
But
me?
however, it is most of the reason. It is most of the. It is most of the reasons why you're feeling this way, or
No, I'm not feeling like I said. I started with saying that I don't. I don't feel
back
like
to the crux of the matter before
yeah.
Mr. Linus said what he said. Is the difficulties that I face as a woman is just down to misogyny, like misogyny. That lady, that's misogynistic babe called misogyny is crazy. So it's just misogyny and that's it. But like we try to just kind of like skill past it, even if we can't do anything about it. We try to skill past it and just keep the business part of it because a lot of things that happen wrongly in our part
Yeah.
is because of misogyny. Like whenever like there's a situation, maybe there's an argument between a client and us, it's because they've heard that there were women on the call. Do you understand? Because the majority of my team are women as well. So they've heard we're women on the call and then their tone changes. You literally pick up on that when you're on a call, like on a WhatsApp group call and you're talking to someone. They think we're all men because somebody on our team, her name is Tobe. So they assume that the Tobe is a guy's name. So now when she speaks, they're like, oh, she's a babe. Do you get like, and their tone changes. I always notice it. So just little things like that. So yeah, that's it.
If you are being very professional and you're good at your job, man, gender would not stop you, man.
That's not true.
Like, gender would not stop
That's
you.
not true. That's not true though. You can be the best at your job and gender will fucking stop you.
Then those people don't want a good job. They just want to do it. But somebody that wants to do it because he's looking for results, somebody that's trying to do an event because, oh, they want to do it, they have something to achieve, they would not totally just be looking at other factors. I think the number one factors would be, can this person actually get the job done?
That's what we're expecting from people, to be very honest. That's what I personally expect. I expect that that is the standard in which people work. You don't care about whether I'm a boy or a girl. You care about whether I can achieve this thing for you, whether I can smash the goals that I said I've set, or all those things that no, you don't care about whether. Do you understand? That is what I would prefer, but that's not the world we live in.
The people I work with, that's all they care about.
I hope so. I hope I find more people like your people.
The most ridiculous is still regarding expectations. Do you get me? Like,
Yeah, but asking what theme was the most ridiculous thing.
okay, like somebody wanting to do like
Yeah.
a listening party, and what he was asking for, the setup was going to cost like 1.8 million. And when I asked him for his budget, he was like 100K.
Great, great. I will do you 100K.
Like I stood up and I left.
Yeah.
How to balance how to work with the budget and the audience spending power, basically. For me, I would say I think the bridge between two of that, between the budget of the event and ensuring that the crowd can afford, it's planning and creative direction. So I think that's what comes in between those two things, planning and creative direction.
Right.
Because from your planning, from your budget, you know your target audience. You've looked at stuff like their spending power. You've looked at stuff like, okay, now you know you can't be targeting students that you know they can only afford 2K tickets. And you're now bringing Wizkid. Do you get me? Definitely, you know they can't afford
This
it.
kid for 2K.
So
I
definitely,
would be there.
with the budget you are working with, the budget and the audience you are targeting, you'd be able to use vibe planning and creative direction to be able to meet in between. Do you get me? If your creative direction is right, you don't have to bring a whiskey, you don't have to bring a black bones, and people will still have fun at your party.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah. Okay, for me, mine is just very on the nose. Mine is just data analytics. So we just make sure that we gather enough data from people and then we ask them what their normal budgets are for events. So that helps us kind of like streamline what everyone can afford, basically. So from the data that we pull up, we just can like break it down to know that, okay, these are the type of events that we can market for like 10K. These are the type of events that we can market tables for whatever amount. These are the events that we can do for free so that we know what to tailor and how to plan our rollout basically for the entire year. That kind of like helps us. So like Lina said, creative direction and planning. So for the planning part of it, we make sure that we make events where there are some that are free, some are ticketed, some are, exclusive entry. Some of them are, just a vibe and chill type of thing. So that's pretty much it. Or maybe an educational thing where we teach people about maybe music management, music talent management, just a variety of things. So yeah, we use data and analytics for our price regulation for our events.
I don't just think, I think they do. Yeah, they do.
I don't just think it.
Like he said, do you think? So
I'm
like,
sure, I'm
like I'm
guaranteed.
certain.
Yeah.
Like they underestimate it. In recent times, in fact, in recent times now, yeah, you cannot succeed in event space in Abuja without proper planning. Good planning is what will cut down your budget. Good planning is what will reduce your risk. Good planning is what ensures your audience have a great time. Good
You
planning
need
is
to
what
even do
ensures that you can.
rehearsals of your events.
Good planning is what ensures that you can do another event. Like good planning cannot be underestimated. Like it is very important. Very important. No matter your budget, even if you're working with a 1 billion naira budget to do an event in
You can
Abuja,
burn.
if you don't have good planning, you can burn 1 billion naira in
Yeah,
Abuja
you can.
and not make back 100 million. It is very
Truly,
possible. So
yeah.
good planning is very essential.
Yeah. I would say yes and no because I've been to some other events really good. There's this young kid called Zumnan. He even has an event today called Midnight Love or something like that. And I've just been seeing the way he's been branding. So for me, I treat events as a product. And I feel like the way you brand your product really, really does matter in the long run of things. So planning is great, but branding is greater. Do you get? So I really do believe that if you brand your event well, planning around it to be easier. So for planning, they just like most people, and they just want to do events and know that they've done event, but they don't really know what it takes to do an event because there's a pre, during, and post production for events where you're pre-planning, making sure you're making plans and making sure that you found a venue, everything is looking good, theme, aesthetics, look and feel. During, what is the music, what is the sound, what is the vibe? Ending, how do you appreciate your crowd? What is your call to action? All those little things.
I guess we're saying the same thing, man, because you need to talk about branding in planning also.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to say that yes
Yeah.
and no, because the question was directed to Abuja people.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Some people don't give a fuck. They just do event because they know people and they can throw party.
Yeah.
But there's some people that do take their time out to plan and curate events. So I'm not negating what you're saying. I'm actually agreeing with you.
No, okay, cool.
Linus, what's the worst event you've ever done and what's the worst thing that happened? And how did you survive it?
Worst event?
Yeah. Worst production of anything. Like, what's the worst event you've ever worked on that you just said never again in your life? Like, even if they came with like $1 billion, you will not go back. And feel free to name drop.
Ha. Omo.
Yeesh.
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 Well, I can't name drop.
I don't know, but
this
you tell me
one.
later, Sha.
Do you get me? But
Yeah.
yeah, I think there's been an event we worked with where like okay, we had like a major headliner.
Yeah.
So the major issue with the event was basically delegation.
Yeah.
Do you get in terms of like
From them or from you?
from them in
Okay.
terms of like some people now want to go into events.
Mm-hmm.
They have the money for the events, yeah, and they want to still take the role of an event planner or event manager in the events, and they forget that experience also matters in these areas. So they end up like just running the events based on what they think it should be, and don't end up listening to you. And in scenarios like that, I've worked with where I worked with somebody that could actually afford an event. He was ready to bring in all the money, but he wasn't ready to listen to his team. So and therefore he wasn't able to delegate properly. There was so much him
Chaos.
trying to like do the things himself, trying to cut down. He didn't want them to steal his money. He didn't want everybody to like. So in doing that, when you don't properly delegate, you're already setting yourself up for failure. Because for me, one of the most key things to a successful event is the power of delegation.
Yeah.
You get me? When you can
Weak as
delegate,
your strongest. You're only as strong as your weakest link.
basically. So when you can delegate, you have multiple like bodies doing things for you in the event. There's a higher chances for success because now it is not just about you. There are multiple people involved and they all feel like, oh, this is their stuff.
Yeah.
Aside just them pulling their weight on whatever sector of the events they're handling, there's still that, they feel among and they also bring in their own extra weight in terms of like
Their
bringing in their
event, yeah.
audience into the event. So delegation for me is like one of the major things that people can really get wrong in the early stage of running an event. But somebody will say, okay, if you don't have money, how do you delegate? How do you set up a team if you can't afford to pay them?
One thing about it is picking your team. Your team is your core for your event because if your team guys don't pull up for you for your event, you're going to cascade under a lot of pressure. There's something that me and my guys and my team, we just talked about it. It's called event PTSD. So basically, when we've worked an event, the next 2 days after the event, we have like sleep, like our legs will be moving because we walked all through the entire event, and you think your phone is ringing and all of these things. You're so used to being under the pressure. So for a good team, for you to be able to get a good team, you need to also believe in their own personal vision and their own personal goals. You need to also be invested in things that they want for themselves and how you can help them achieve it as well. Because not everybody's actually down for money. Money is great and wonderful, but some people just want the opportunity of being close to where they can get to. Like now, for example, I know that, okay, maybe I know somebody that can help in maybe photography, for example. And because of I know somebody that can help in photography, somebody wants to work with me and give me their own services in photography while I plug them to something else. So it has to be a tit for tat. It has to be that you're honoring them. Hey, you're honoring them. It has to be that you're honoring them in a way, either with, thank you for coming. I take this honorarium, use this one to, settle body, hold this one, hold body, and just treat people with respect. Truly and surely. Like, treat people with respect, value their craft, value their time, promise them the things that you're actually going to give them. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't promise exposure does not pay the bills. It does not. So please don't lie. Under promise and over deliver.
Very
It's
important.
annoying. So if you're promising somebody 80K to do something for you, my love, give them 80K worth of work. Don't go and do like, do you understand? Like, give them the 80K worth of sorry. If you're giving somebody 80K, they give you 80K work. Don't go and start finding your face and say, "Yeah, this one is not." You paid 80K. Relax, relax. So, but yeah, another thing is that working with creatives in Abuja is also another thing. Some people are not worth 80K and they don't want to hear it. So make I know like give you. Some people are worth, thank you for coming. Take this motina as you are going home and use it to pay your taxi. But there's some people that are worth way more. Please pay them. Their cameras are not cheap. Their equipment for whatever is not cheap. Like, honestly, like, guys, let's build our ecosystem around, payment system. It doesn't have to be the biggest money in the world, but just honor them. Be fun. Be fun and sociable. It will go a very long way. Be a
Well,
sociable person and be ready to serve.
key skills is just like any other field that you want to like get into. You need to like, what's the why? For me, that's the first thing. Like, what's the why? Like, why do you just wake up from your bed and say you want to be an event planner? Like, you most
What are
likely
the
going
key
to.
skills, Linus?
So first of all, like for me now to say I could be an event planner, I didn't just wake up to say that. Like, I I was in that life. Yeah, I started by going for other events. I started by
So is this
volunteering.
skill a networking skill or what's the skill?
Well, the skill, there's multiple skills involved. There's networking skill, definitely. There's social skill, because you need to be able to keep conversations. You need to be able to keep the relationship. If you can't keep relationship, you cannot succeed in the event space. And keeping
You
relationship
need to
is
be
not.
likable. Let me be very honest with you. You need to be likable as a person.
Yeah.
You go far in life when you're likable than when you're more competent. It's really, really the truth. Like, people care more about your like. See, guy, like, oh, there's this book I read that literally said that people would rather hire people that they like than people that are more competent for the job. It is very, very, very simple. So for us, me personally, I realized just being a fun guy, just be the social prefect. Oh, are you okay? Do you want this? Oh, are you alright? Do you have you? You looking at that? Guy, fake it till you make it type shit. But be sociable and know how to actually be invested. A little bit intentional. Intentionality goes a very long way in our industry. Like, it can be Linus's birthday and we send him a cake, and because of that, Linus will talk about us when he's talking to Jameson, and Jameson will give us a contract. Just like that. That's how things work in this entertainment space. You need to be likable, you need to be sociable, and you need to be intentional. Period. I would say lack of budgeting. It was a mistake I made when I started. I started out of a whim. Do you get? Because that's why I said you can't wake up one day and say you want to be an event planner. Oh my! I woke up one day and said I want to do event planning, and it worked well. Oh. But it started with I used to do events obviously in uni, little things. I used to whatever. So basically, my biggest mistake was not budgeting because it was a foundational issue for me where I just used to just throw money into the thing and say, okay, if I get my money back, then that's fine. That doesn't work for events. Events na wish. Ask him. That's my favorite sentence. Events na wish, because you can't predict what could go wrong. Even if you have contingencies, 100, you would always find a 101th one that would just come and scatter your event. Do you get? If you like call rain holder, let him be doing shakabalalala, rain can still fall. So when it comes to budgeting and then contingencies, if one thing doesn't go this way, create another contingency ASAP and plan with your team. Carry your team along from the beginning to the end. I know that there's a guy on my team called Bread. There's a guy on my team called Trills. There's Tobe. There's this person. There's that person. There's Dara. All of them, they all know what they're all supposed to do. So that allows me to budget accordingly because everyone knows what they're supposed to do. And that also falls back to delegation. So one, delegation. We're so used to compounding our problems that we carry to ourselves. So delegation helps with budgeting, and budgeting helps with the entire core of your event. So delegation, budgeting, and event core. Those are my biggest problems. So budget very well. You use your budgeting app. Use ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT to budget. It really, really helps. Make a spreadsheet. No matter how much little guy, even if you're using it to buy za, put it there. Know where your money is going to. Know where, even if you're buying, doing transport for one person, two people, add it to your budget sheet so you know where everything cent is going. Because another thing is, did I lie about this thing when I told you that your first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events, you're not gonna make any money. You're gonna run at a crazy loss. That is just how it goes. Like, you're gonna run at a loss most times because you go all out thinking that you going all out will translate to finances.
Not necessarily the first 6. Even after making some money, you can still take some loss.
Yeah, so you can have some wins, but no, it can be
still take
crazy.
some loss.
Your first event, you can make so much money, you believe that, okay,
My first
wow.
event, I didn't lose money.
Biggest boy,
I made back my capital.
I made
First
when
event.
I mean lose money, me, I always talk
made
about
back my
100%
capital.
profit. Like, I like money. I like to make money. So
To add to that, aside budgeting, another mistake upcoming events planners make is setting unrealistic goals.
you really hate unrealistic goals.
Unrealistic goals, like one of the things I've learned in my life here is setting realistic goals. Do you understand? Unrealistic goal is you've not tried to make 5K. Do you get me? On your first attempt, you can now set a goal to make 5 million. when you've not tried to make
Bro.
5K. So unrealistic goals. So meaning like somebody comes into town now, first event ever, and the first events you're throwing, your ticket is 2 million naira table, 3 million naira table, 4 million naira table. You've not worked, you don't have the
You don't
information
have
that
the
people have, you don't
niche.
have the network, you just set an unrealistic goal because you have the capacity to maybe network and get the money, and you raise the money for the unrealistic goal, and you expect magic to happen. So you need to be realistic, like when setting your goals, very
And now,
realistic.
bouncing off what you just said, just to kind of like wrap it off, is I don't know why there's no love collaborations. If you can't afford to do an event, collaborate with people on your level. Like Lana said before, most times people really think growth is like this. Sometimes growth can be like this. And no, not even like that. Not even on a wave. Like your growth can actually just be on this scale. And it doesn't mean you're not going anywhere. You're just going the other way. Like you're not going upwards. And that's fine. Sometimes you can go like this and you can go like this and go like this and go like this. But like everyone always just believes that it must be upwards. Work with your guys to get to where you're both going to. So as this person is going up, they're dragging you with you and it like that, like that. So collaborations is one of the things that people didn't really, or people keep making as a
Yeah,
mistake.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
don't do Abuja people. Yes, guy, yes.
Collaboration is key,
Collaborations, like
man.
you save money.
Collaboration is
You
key.
save if money is what you
You
want to
share the
make.
risk, you
You
share the
share the
work, you
risk. You
share the
share
reward.
exactly.
Like
Do you
collaboration is
understand? It
key.
is the best thing you can ever do for yourself, especially when you don't have money. As an upcoming anything, collaboration is key. Upcoming photographer, collaborate with your videographer. Upcoming artist, collaborate with your man producer. Upcoming event people, collaborate with your Abuja talents, because those are the people that will blow you in the next 5, 10 years. Because me, I see Abuja as London in my head, though. Like I'm not even joking. I swear, I'm not joking. I mean it with so much. Like I
Next
mean,
London.
like it's the next London. Like there's so much talent, there's so much culture. It just needs to be documented. Like you can go back to archives of when gigs used to start rapping in like all these random places in London, like all these underground clubs, all this. Like nobody wants to start small. Everybody wants to start and be the next Odumodu Black.
Everybody wants to do their own thing. Everybody
You want
wants
to be the
to
next Odumodu. You
jigget.
cannot just sprout. Like you can't. No, let me not say you can't. But
You can.
however, does lightning strike twice?
Yeah. So collaboration, but the problem people have with collaboration is
What?
before you collaborate, do you get me? And that's the mistake everybody make, and they say collaboration fails. Do you understand? Collaboration doesn't fail. You collaborate without even knowing
Research. People
what
don't
the
do
person can actually pull their
research.
weight.
You
You
don't
can't
do
just
research.
I can't just be in this room now and say we're 5 in this room now, and I'll just tell you, you're handling marketing, you're handling selling tables, you're handling digital,
But you
you're
don't know my
handling this, you and
strength.
without knowing what you do. So before you bring people into a collaboration, you need to ensure that you've done your research. Oh, this person's strength is on marketing. When collaborating, that's where you're bringing the person
Yeah.
on, and always be able to put it down. Like set the specific tax you expect from that person, because sometimes we collaborate together and we don't define our roles.
Yes.
So and that's where we start having that issue of this person is not pulling his weight, this person is not pulling his weight.
That's where professionalism comes in as
I did
well.
all the work.
Yeah.
This person didn't do all the work. So
I think that sentence really irks a lot of people when you say you did all the work. But then I'd always ask, like, what did you do? What did you bring to the event table?
Yeah.
Because you can't expect we'll share the same profit or split or anything. Like me and Linus, I keep saying it, like Girl Hype, my guys forever. Like anytime we do anything with them, I'm always satisfied. You never really hear me come and say, "Oh, Linus, you guys didn't do this." It's always just like, "Oh, thank you so much for this work. Thank you so much." Because I know what he can do. I know what no bad thing happens on a Friday.
nothing bad happens on a Friday.
Nothing bad happens on a Friday. I know what they do. I know what Hot New Afro does. I know what TCM does. I know what every single company that works in Abuja, I know what they do. So that helps me in knowing who to reach out to. There was a time like this last year where like 2-3 artists reached out to me through their managements that they wanted a list of communication companies in Abuja that do events. Who else would I write? The people that I've worked with, the people that I know, they need people that can do research. Like your job as an entertainment person is to actually have information.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like every time I'm in a room, I always just randomly ask people there that say they are music people. Oh, yeah, name 20 Abuja artists without saying the whole of Antawo gangsters, Apex Villages people. Name people that are unknown. They can't. But you say you're in Abuja music. Collaboration is your job to know.
Yeah.
It's your
So
job to actually know.
key thing, like, so as an event manager or as an event organizer, you need to know how to research, because that's how you put everything together. Like, when
Yeah.
you can research, don't just be excited. Don't just say because somebody's just coming to you and be like, oh, let's collaborate on this. You need to actually do the research.
Does your brand and their brand match? Some brands you're not supposed to be working with because it doesn't work. Like, you should work with some other brands because that works for you.
Thank you, guys. I think
Shout out, hey Jago. Shout out Jago TV.